It's time to clear the mind of any old emotional patterning and reconnect to what inspires us. We have Mercury stationing retrograde on July 17th at 15 degrees Leo, and he will be retrograde until August 11th, where he will station direct at 4 degrees Leo. So it is a time to acknowledge any emotions that are coming up so that we can release them, so we can reconnect to what inspires us, our creativity, and feel inspired about life, because that's what Leo is. Leo is the zest for life. But when Mercury is bogged down by these old patterns of emotions, thinking about them over and over again, talking about them over and over again without any resolve, that's where we struggle. And that is where this Mercury retrograde can perhaps benefit us, because it allows us to really acknowledge, where do we waste energy on just these emotional things? Where do we waste energy just in general in our life? And how can we cut away the waste and reconnect to our inspiration, reconnect to the zest for creating, because that is what Leo is all about. So let's try during this Mercury retrograde to acknowledge, where do we waste energy? Where are we putting our attention that is just literally going down the drain? Whether that be our own emotions or things that are invoked inside of us from other people. Let's try to slow down, because that's what Mercury retrograde is all about. It's about slowing down and listening, paying attention, thinking before we speak. And anything that comes up during Mercury retrograde, we want to pay extra attention to. Now, during this Mercury retrograde, we always want to be aware that it's not necessarily the best time to start new endeavors. That doesn't say don't start them, but it says be aware that there might be some redoing. So be open to adjustments, be open to redoing. It's not necessarily the time where we want to sign contracts. If we do, we want to be very thorough in reading them over. Because like I said, it's a time to redo, reevaluate, and reassess where our mental energy is going. So Mercury retrogrades are not necessarily bad, but they can be tricky, which is why we want to slow down and pay attention. Because whatever is coming back into your life, whoever is coming back into your life, whatever situations are coming back into your life, we want to pay extra attention to them and see what they're teaching us. Because as in this time with Mercury retrograde, things seem to be going slow, not necessarily moving forward, let's take a moment to acknowledge the wisdom and the strength that we can gather during the slow times. Because in the slow times, it allows us to really pay attention, because Mercury is usually a fast-moving planet. So when Mercury goes slow, it says, take some time with me to reevaluate this area of your life. So look at where you have 4 degrees Leo to 15 degrees Leo in your chart and know that this is the topic of this Mercury retrograde for you. If you'd like to schedule a personal reading, you can contact me at 11kaivarose33.com.